and welcome to this Astranti strategic analysis video for the operational case study exams in the November 2020 and February 2021 exam sittings. Okay, so in today's video we are dealing with our pre-seen company, which is of course AmaZZZing Beds. And the aim of this strategic analysis video today is to give you a better idea about the various strategies that this company currently employs and the direction that the company wants to go in terms of the development of its strategies going forward. Okay, and our hope is that by looking at this company's strategic position as part of your revision in a little bit more detail, it should put you in a better position to make more accurate and more logical judgments and statements in relation to this pre-seen company when it comes to the actual exam itself. Okay, so before we get into this analysis in a little bit more depth, what we're going to do is firstly just have a very brief recap about the case company. Okay, as I'm aware, it might have been a few weeks, it might have been a little bit of time since you actually looked through our pre-seen analysis itself. So obviously our pre-seen company is a company called AmaZZZing Bed, which is both a retailer and also a manufacturer of mattresses and bed products, okay? And it sells these different ranges of products primarily via its large retail store network, so it's got over 120 retail stores, but it also has an online distribution channel where consumers can purchase beds or mattresses directly from this online store. Now AmaZZZing Beds is based in Eastland, Europe, and the company has been trading since 1978. However, it's currently owned by a private equity investor who acquired 100% of the company in 2005. Okay, and AmaZZZing Beds is also Eastland's largest retailer based on revenue, okay, and now employs over 1,000 staff across the country. Okay, so we're dealing with a fairly successful and also a fairly sizable business here. So with that refresher out the way, let's get back to our strategic analysis. Now, the way in which this analysis is going to work is we're going to base it around a model that you may or not be familiar with, which is called the rational planning model, okay? Now, generally, this is a model that comes into some of the higher papers, so if you haven't come across it yet, don't worry too much, as we're going to explain the model as we go through and actually implement it. So as a very brief overview, this model is a strategic planning model that businesses can use to help spell out their future strategy, okay? And it focuses around two main areas of analysis. So firstly, it looks to establish a business's current strategic position, i.e. where it is now. And then it looks into the future, okay? And it looks to try and establish where a business wants to be going forward, okay? To help establish its strategic direction. And then the third aspect of this model, as you can see on screen, is the actual development of a business's strategy, okay? And this strategy essentially builds on the two areas of previous analysis that the model has done and essentially attempts to bridge the gap between where the business is now and where the business wants to be in the future, okay? So to start things off, we're going to be focusing on the forward-thinking aspect of this model, okay? So we're going to try and ensure that we fully understand where AmaZZZing Beds as a business is heading, okay? And this means also taking into account not just where the business itself is heading, but taking into account how it can meet the needs of, say, various stakeholder groups, for example, as part of this sort of growth and this direction that it is looking to head in, okay? So the first thing we're going to do as part of this sort of forward-thinking aspect of our analysis is to try and establish what our pre-seen company's mission is and what the various objectives it has in play as part of meeting this mission, okay? Now, it may well be that we don't get black and white information about this provided to us in the pre-seen, so we may need to use a little bit of our pre-seen knowledge and use a little bit of supposition to sort of spell out these different factors, okay? Once we've done that, we're going to think about establishing the business's critical success factors, i.e. the things the business must do well to succeed. We're also going to look at some of the key stakeholder groups that are relevant to our pre-seen company and map these out. Remember, a key part of this forward-thinking analysis is to ensure that the business continues to cater to key stakeholder groups and continues to keep in mind the needs of key stakeholder groups. So this is a really important part of our analysis. And then finally, we're going to think about any particular governance concerns or ethical concerns that are related to this business or relevant to this business. So both of these are important areas in relation to our case study exam. but from a slightly more real world perspective, ensuring that a business continues to act in the best possible manner and is run in the correct way are key aspects of sort of analysing and setting out where a business wants to be in the future. Okay, so with that introduction out the way, let's get cracking with our first area of analysis, which relates to the mission and objectives of this company. Okay, so the first thing that we just need to clarify is, what is an organisation's mission? Well, by setting out its mission statement, a company helps to answer questions such as, what is the organisation all about? What is the reason for its existence? Who does it exist for? Who does it exist to serve? And what is it trying to achieve? Okay, so essentially an organisation's mission helps to provide common purpose, it helps to focus an organisation's strategy, and it helps to provide direction to directors to help guide objectives and strategic thinking. So Amazon, for example, in the real world, has a mission statement which is to be the Earth's most customer-centric company, allowing customers to find and discover anything they want to buy online at the lowest possible prices. Okay, so clearly this statement provides Amazon as an overall entity with a common purpose and a direction in which to align strategies and objectives which the business sets to help meet these strategies and this direction. Okay. And if a business fails to have a strong mission statement set out, then its operations as a whole run the risk of lacking focus, they run the risk of lacking purpose, and it may be that the business's overall strategic direction is confused if we have multiple different groups of people working towards multiple different objectives that don't overly combine in one overriding mission. Okay, so a company's mission is vital in ensuring the overriding strategic development of its operations with an overriding goal or aim in mind. So what actually makes a good mission statement? Well, to help us out with this sort of discussion, Campbell has set out 4 key elements which he considers to be crucial parts of good mission statements. Okay, so we can analyse each of these areas in regards to our pre-seen company AmaZZZing Beds. So the first of these relates to an organisation's purpose, and here we can ask a range of questions such as, why does an organisation exist, or for whom does it exist, and what are the organisation's long-term strategic aims? So starting with the first of these 2 sets of questions, what are the reasons for our pre-seen company's existence? Well, I think straight away here we can say that it is to provide or to facilitate the purchase by consumers of both high quality and highly functional products. Items like beds or mattresses are quite substantial purchases for consumers, and they're items that consumers would expect to last and fulfill their function for quite a significant period of time. Okay, so ensuring that this business is able to provide products either that it has manufactured itself or that it is selling on from other companies that meet these 2 sort of metrics of quality and functionality is a vital part of this company's purpose. In terms of what the organisation hopes to achieve in the long term, I think we get a number of hints about this from the sort of strategic aims that are included in the pre-seen. So the first of these is that the business will obviously want to maintain its current position as the market leader by revenue within the specialist retail chunk of the market in which it operates. Okay, we know that the business has one major competitor here in Gordon's Beds, and we also know that it is under threat from a number of newer, different competitors. And so whatever the business wants to do going forward, maintaining this strong position in the market has got to be up there with its key objectives. And slightly different to this, we see specific mention in terms of the company's strategies about the importance of it remaining the #1 retailer of bed and mattress brands within Eastland. Okay, so initially more of a general strategy there, but here we get a specific aim that the company wants to achieve going forward, i.e. continuing to maintain its position as the #1 retailer of all bed and mattress brands within its home market. Okay, in terms of some slightly different aims in the long term, we also maybe get hints that the business will maybe want to try some new markets, whether that be new product markets to take into account to exploit some of the latest trends in the market, or overseas markets potentially, we're not quite sure. But also we maybe get some hints that the business wants to continue to expand its production operations, okay, and its manufacture of own brand products. Okay, So a number of varied aims that we can see the business wants to achieve in the long run. The second key area of a good mission statement, as set out by Campbell, relates to an organisation's strategy. And here we are going to be asking questions: how will our pre-scene company compete? How does the pre-scene company compete? And what are the range of businesses that it operates within? Okay, so we get lots of information about the business's strategy in the pre-scene. We see that a key part of this firstly centres around continuing to retail all major brands of beds and mattresses within Eastland. We also see that the key to the company's continuing retail success relates to the continuation of the sort of retail experience that it provides to customers. Now, this involves both setting out informative and sort of exciting retail stores that consumers can get really hands-on with as part of a purchasing decision, but also crucially in terms of the level of staff knowledge that is going to be required to help consumers make purchases. Okay, so these two key areas are crucial to the business's overall purpose of maintaining its status as the #1 retailer in the market. And finally, I think a general point that we can make here is that the business must ensure that it continues to manufacture and sell on high quality and extremely reliable products. Okay, consumers aren't going to want to invest huge amounts of money in a mattress if the company selling the mattress has a poor reputation for the quality and reliability of its products. Okay, so a key part of ensuring that it can continue to compete within the market are these metrics of quality and reliability. In terms of the values of the business, which is the third key element of Campbell's good mission statement theory, the question we have to ask here is, what does the organisation stand for? Now, there are a few things that we can take out of the pre-scene, but I think one of the first values that we get is providing customers with a really useful, a really informative retail service. Okay, so this both relates to the actual staff in and of themselves and the skills and training that this business's staff possess, but also in terms of how the company's retail stores are actually designed and set up. Okay, a key part of the business's whole sort of values and how it runs its business since its inception has been to actually advise consumers and help consumers make purchases of mattress and bed items. I think the issue of quality, like we've just been talking about, is also really important. It's really important that the business continues to offer high quality and reliable products, as we've just seen, and this needs to be a mindset that sort of is entrenched throughout its operations. And finally, actually, we do get a little bit of a hint that there's quite a sort of sustainable mindedness within the business. Sort of issues like the environment are quite prominent for the business and its directors. Okay, so I think increasingly going forward, this issue of environmental impact is going to be increasingly intertwined within the company's values. And finally, the last element of a good mission statement, as set out by Campbell, relates to the business's policies. Now, these are specific things that people are expected to follow and ensure that people are acting according to the defined values, strategy and purpose of the business. Okay, so this is sort of how the business goes about actually enforcing the three areas that we've just been looking at. Now, I think a key area here is the issue of staff knowledge and training. By ensuring that its staff are extremely knowledgeable about its products, ensuring that they are extremely well trained about its products, then this is providing a massive contribution towards key strategic aims like providing an excellent retail experience to consumers, and it's therefore contributing to the business's overall purpose of being the #1 retailer of products within Eastland. Okay, so a key sort of policy that we see in the pre-scene here. And we also see an increasing number of sort of environmentally related policies and standards within the pre-scene, looking to ensure that the sort of environmentally conscious nature of some of the business's directors are increasingly coming to fruition. Okay, so things like the use of hybrid vehicles in distribution is a key example here. Well, I've got your attention at the end of this video. I would just like you to make you aware of some of the other products that Astranti sells for our case study courses. So the first of these are a series of study text and tuition videos. Okay, and we have two aspects to these series. So firstly, we have an exam technique study series for you, okay? And this is a range of study text chapters and accompanying videos for those of you who are more visual learners, breaking down the key aspects of success at the various case study levels, okay? So here we're looking at exam technique, we're looking at things like writing style, we're looking at things like planning, all these key aspects that you need to have really nailed down to be successful in these exams. You'll find how to sort of brush up on these areas in this exam technique series. And then to accompany this, we have a revision series dedicated to the theory side of things. So obviously there is a huge amount of theory to sort of brush up on when it comes to the case study exam. So what we've done in these series is we've taken the key areas of theory for each of the 3 case study levels. We've condensed these into a sort of series of study text chapters, and again accompanying videos for those of you who are more visual learners to provide you with a more focused sort of theory revision when it comes to the case study, okay? Moving away from the more generic products to the more specific products we create each sitting for the designated pre-scenes that CIMA release. First and foremost, we have our pre-scene analysis video series, okay? So first and foremost, this consists of 6 videos where we break down the relevant pre-scene at the relevant level of the qualification, page by page in significant levels of detail, okay? Bringing out all the key points that are going to be relevant for your exam. And we then supplement this with 2 additional videos. So we have a strategic analysis video and a top 10 issues video, also focused on the designated pre-scene for each level for the specific sitting in question. We then provide an industry analysis document and accompanying video. Okay, so CIMA like to see you demonstrate wider industry knowledge when it comes to the exam. And what this industry analysis therefore does, it help you cater to this particular request on CIMA's behalf. Okay, so essentially what we've done is we've compiled all the key bits of information about the relevant industry into one big document to save you having to do this as part of your revision. And we produced a video accompanying this, picking out some of the particularly key points. We also produce a number of mock exams for every sitting. So we write 5 mock exams for each level in the first sitting of the 6-month exam window, and then we add 2 more supplementary mocks on top of this for anyone resitting when it comes to the second sitting within the new 6 months exam window. Okay, and we design these mocks to be very specific around key issues relevant to the pre-scene. We try to make them as lifelike as possible in terms of CIMA's real life exams. Okay, so these are a great way to practice your exam technique and your knowledge about the pre-scene company under sort of timed conditions. And then to add further value to this product, we also offer marking and feedback, a marking and feedback service. So we have a range of great, highly skilled finance professionals working as freelance staff for us. And it's these staff who conduct the marking and feedback service that we provide to you. Okay, so this is a really great service to use in conjunction with our mock exams to really give you a great idea of how you are progressing in the areas that you need to work on before the actual exam itself. If you're still in need of extra exam practice and you've run out of mock exams that we supply, we also provide a more generic question pack product. Okay, so obviously there is only a specific amount of questions that you can write about a specific pre-scene, and so what these question packs are is a series of generic questions on generic scenarios that we've come up with here at Astranti, whereby we look to test specific topics that come up regularly at case study exam. Okay, so if there is a particular topic that you're struggling with and we've maybe tested it once in our mocks but you'd like some more practice on it, then these question packs would be a really great product for you to turn to, as we have all the key topics that are likely to be tested covered within these. Okay, the penultimate product on this list is a product for those of you out there who like to sort of get a full overriding picture in terms of your revision all at once. And these are our masterclasses. Okay, so we have expert tutors who hold 2 masterclass sessions for every exam sitting. And these essentially cover all key aspects that you're going to need to know for your relevant exam. Okay, so from particular pieces of theory, from an analysis of the pre-scene, all the way through to tips and ideas about exam technique. And finally, such is the confidence that we have in the quality of our products and the quality of our course, that if you do purchase a full course from us and you unfortunately do not pass your exam using our products, then we will offer what is known as a pass guarantee. Okay, so if you're a full course student who fails using our materials, we will provide you with our materials free of charge for the next sitting in the hope that you pass second time around. Okay, so thank you very much for listening to that. I hope you find our products useful, and of course I'd like to wish you best of luck from everyone here at Astranti for your exams.